If I were to choose which character I would be, I would say like, oh yes, I would want to be Inej. But actually, I'm like a wildin'. I'm not even gonna lie. Hi friends, it is 1:34 on September the 21st. Everybody should be listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire right now. I took a nap earlier today, so I can't sleep, but because I am awake, I thought I would do a little bit of a vloggy type video because, friends, I am reading my last book on my physical TBR. I started reading around the 50-page mark and I am currently on page 172. My goal is to finish this book by 11:59 on Sunday because Sunday is the last day of the summer because the fall equinox is on the 23rd. I really didn't think that it was possible to read this book in a couple of days because it's over 500 pages, but once I started reading it and realizing that I could get through, over 100 pages in 30 minutes to an hour or so, or I don't even know how long it took me, I thought, you know what, this is possible. I can totally finish this book by Sunday. So with that being said, I wanted to do a little vlog so that I can record this momentous occasion for me. I will say I probably will be giving updates every so often, and I can't make any promises that I won't spoil anything. So if you haven't read this book yet, you may not want to watch this vlog, or if you don't care, go ahead and watch it. But I'm just saying I am going to be giving my reactions to the story, so I may or may not give things away. Currently, the gang is back together. Inej was being held captive, but they found a way to rescue her. But in doing so, they found out that there are these Grishas that have these really, really enhanced abilities, and originally they thought that it was because of a type of drug that really just enhances all your powers, but instead something else is going on, and so they're figuring out how they can combat these Grisha while still saving other Grisha. One of the characters, Nina, at the end of the last book, she had to take this powerful drug in order to save her friends, in order to win this battle. But after that, she is having a lot of cravings and withdrawals, and this book is totally touching on addictions and dependency. So I thought that was really, really powerful to see this depiction of this character that we love, and this character who is so powerful and has so many strengths. I think it's really huge to see that even the people with all of these positive characteristics can still be affected by substances, and it can potentially lead them to do things that they never thought they would. Nina thought that Matthias, another one of the characters, had the substance on him, and so she's really buttering up, being really intimate and touchy-feely because she thinks he is able to, because she thinks that he has the substance. And you get into her head and you see her, really questioning herself and really knowing that what she's doing is wrong, and yet she feels sick without it, and so she really is doing what she can so that she doesn't feel sick anymore. So I thought that was huge. Also, something to note is that the way that Grisha, so those are the people that have these different abilities, the way that they're being treated, oftentimes these people are just used as weapons. If people aren't able to use Grisha for their own gains, people don't want them. And Grisha are totally this marginalized community. There is a part where one of the characters, Kaz, is trying to figure out how to get something done, and Nina's basically saying that, you know, like, I'm not going to be a part of this unless I know that the other Grisha are going to be safe and that we're going to be able to get them out of the situation. And I was like, go Nina, like, way to advocate for yourself and for the other people in her community. And Inej is basically saying, like, I'm siding with her as well. So I just thought it was really great to see the friendship between the two of them, plus Inej basically being an ally and, you know, understanding that this group of people is being treated terribly and she's doing what she can to support them. So anyways, that's where I am right now. I really enjoy their group dynamic. I really like how everyone is supportive of each other in their own special way. And I'm ready to get back into it. Halfway point is 268. I'm gonna try to get halfway and then I'm going to check in with you guys, so I will talk to you later. Update. I'm really sleepy. I made it to page 210, so I'm gonna go to sleep and then wake up and read some more. I will say, all of this flirting, I can't, but I can. I'm headed to bed. I will see you all later. Bye. Good morning. It's almost 9:30 and I'm a sleepy potato. Alrighty, so I've officially sat up and I'm gonna actually try to get to the halfway point. Before I went to bed though, I think I read 7 more pages and then I fell asleep. Wow, that was a whole lie. That was a whole lie. I only read 2 more pages and I went to sleep. So I'm on page 212. I'm gonna get back to reading and then I will check in with you all when I get to the halfway point. Alright, bye. Hello, it is a little after 2 o'clock and I wanted to give an update on how reading is going. I am here. I am a little over halfway done. I'm on page 334. It looks like Kaz is in the beginning stages of figuring out the plan so that they can get the money that they need, so that Jesper's dad can go home and be safe. He's thinking about the plan that they're going to use in order to, like, finish the whole heist shebang, and I can already sense that it's going to be a lot. Before Kaz was figuring things out, he and Jesper had this argument, and as it turns out, while he was arguing with Jesper, it seems as though he had a flashback to having some type of conversation with his brother. And knowing what I know about the character from the 2 books that I've read, most likely he is not going to tell anybody about his brother and where he was coming from in that moment. I think it would be interesting if we revisit that and if there are aspects of Jesper that remind Kaz of his brother. I'm kind of flying through this book. I have read over 100 pages since starting this morning. I don't know what those noises are. I am still retraining my brain and understanding and realizing that just because a book is over 300 pages does not mean that it is scary. Since I'm at page 334, I'm gonna see if I can get to the 400 mark. That's a little much. Let me know. I'm gonna see if I can get to the page 350 or around that, and then I'll take a break, go to the library, and then come back and read some more. Also, I am proud of the fact that this is the last book on my physical TBR, and it looks like by the end of the weekend I won't have any more books on my physical TBR. And this isn't to say that if you do have lots of books on your physical TBR that it's bad. Like, not at all. I just know that I'm going to feel really good about being able to really and truly recommend the books that are on my shelves, because I will have read all of them. And I think I will have a lot less pressure on myself, and because I don't have that pressure, I can read more books from the library. In the past, it's been difficult to really get into library books because I think about the books on my shelf that I haven't read, and instead of fully thinking about those books, I'm like, but wait, I have this book I could be reading. I really need to be doing this. Now that that will be not a thing anymore, I can just be like, yes, library, here, there, everywhere. I'm doing a lot of rambling, so again, I'm gonna read a little bit more. I am also starting to worry because I'm getting attached to all of these characters, and I know that several people have experienced a lot of the feels after finishing Crooked Kingdom, so I just feel like it's going to be a lot. But anyways, I'm gonna get back to reading and I will check in with you all later. All right, bye. I just wanted to share a quote that I thought was really amazing. So Jesper and Inej are having a conversation, and instead of apologizing, Inej is saying that in her culture, people don't say sorry. They know that things are not always deliberate, and instead of saying sorry, they just promise to make amends and do better. Here it talks about the phrase that the Suli people speak of, and she says, this action will have no echo. It means we won't repeat the same mistakes, that we won't continue to do harm. Oof. Oof. Hi friends, it's currently 4:37 and I still haven't finished the book. It is Sunday. Yesterday I was able to spend time with my friend who is here to visit from Arizona, so I was able to spend time with her and her puppy and just have lots and lots of good time. So obviously didn't really get that much reading done. This morning we went to a farmer's market, and then I went to my friend's son's birthday party, so that was really fun. And now I am home. I think I'm gonna go out in about like an hour or so. So I'm gonna see how much of the book I am going to be able to finish. I have reached the 400-page mark and we're getting to the end. Kaz has thought of his plan, and so now the plan is being put into motion. I'm going to go back to reading and I will check in later, and hopefully I can finish this book today. All right, I'll see you later. Bye. It is a little bit after 12, technically. Ooh, it's 12:15, and although today is, technically the 23rd, I am about 20 pages away from finishing Crooked Kingdom. I was right. One of the characters died in the book, and I really felt it because I wanted all of them to make it. I felt as though I was on the journey with them, and I had noticed a lot of growth from this particular character, and so it made me sad to read that their life was cut short when they kind of had this whole new outlook on life, and there was the potential that they could do, I don't know, like just seeing that change and then having them die in the book was sad. I'm gonna finish this and then I'm going to wrap this up. I will be back. All right, bye. Hold up. What? Oh my gosh. And just like that, I read all of the books on my TBR. I have no books. I have no unread books left. Look at that. is let me talk to you about Crooked Kingdom. I will talk to you about Crooked Kingdom and my thoughts. I really enjoyed seeing their growth throughout. I really enjoyed seeing Kaz and how he finally leaned into his more emotional side, and he started to become aware of why he is the way that he is. I think in the past he knew that about himself, but he, in my opinion, he really leaned into it, and he really started to think about how he could grow and change. And I thought that was amazing. And Inej is just my favorite. Nina though, loved Nina too, and I loved seeing this additional passion form in the second book where she is really going to become a strong advocate for other Grisha, because she's like, this stuff isn't right, we don't need to be in these conditions, we need to get out. So seeing that leadership aspect of her was amazing. Matthias, the fact that he was constantly working on his biases and his immediate reactions. Like, there was a part in the book where he sees these additional Grisha and he has this reaction to it, and yet he has to be mindful of the fact that the reason why he thinks this is because he has been trained over years to have these views, and he has to recognize those judgments, and he has to recognize that that's not right. Jesper, sweet baby so sweet baby Jesper, and him like taking on responsibility, him owning the fact that he is Grisha, and you know, thinking about his mother and being encouraged by her memory to become his full self. In the first book he seems totally like a jester, but Jesper seems like a flirt. He's just kind of playing around, and this one you really see what's behind it. And I think that is the, how do I say this? That's kind of the difficulty when you have people that use humor a lot to deflect, is that we don't really know what's happening. And if we give them that role of being the funny one, we're not giving them the space to explore the different facets of themselves. And I really think that it was beautiful to see Jesper's other side in this one. The sun has gone. I just really enjoyed reading about him, reading about the relationship that he has with his dad, and how his dad had to recognize that there were things that he could have done differently as a parent, but with that being said, he's still moving forward so that their relationship can be even stronger, that he can see his son as this person that has these abilities just like his wife did. And sweet baby Wylan, I think I resonated with his story a lot because everybody else in the crew, they have street cred pretty much, and Wylan does not. And I think there's a part of him that really has to figure out who he is and what value he brings to the group, while other characters can see his strengths and they can see what he brings. He's still like, but I don't know, I was living in this sheltered life, my dad kicked me out, I can't read X, Y, and Z. And at the end, he really proves to himself that he is worthy and that he is able and that he is strong, and I really enjoyed that. The other themes that are sprinkled throughout, there's lots of talk of ability. Kaz has differing abilities in each of his legs, and like he's using a cane, and there was someone that could have potentially fixed him, but he left his leg alone. And so you see that ownership and kind of that pride of knowing like, yes, this is who I am as a person, and I can still do X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm not going to hide who I am, I'm not going to make excuses, and I don't want your pity. And I think that seeing Kaz as this main character with this disability, thought was amazing. Of course, I'm saying this as someone who doesn't have disability, so I can't really speak to that. I believed that it was great to see it, but again, grain of salt. Also, Wylan, the fact that Wylan does have a disability. Wylan's disability just comes in this different form, and the fact that he can't read, I think that is huge, because that's something that a lot of us just take for granted. And seeing how his dad was just a total prick because of that fact, and then seeing him use his other skills to succeed and to pretty much best his dad, I loved. I very much appreciated the conversation that Kaz and Wylan had. I keep talking for a long time, so my card filled up completely, and then my battery started flashing, so I had to change that, but I don't remember where I was. But again, that conversation that Kaz and Wylan had about owning who you are as a person and not apologizing for babies and not apologizing for taking up space and living in this world. There's a part in the book where Inej is at this church and she is appreciating what the building looks like, but she has a difficult time accepting the hypocrisy of, the minister or whoever telling people how to serve a certain God better, and yet people in the congregation either own slaves or they have taken people from their homes, or they're not opposed to those actions. And I was like, absolutely. I found it really refreshing that there were so many themes taking place in the book without those themes like hitting you over the head, or kind of without you realizing that those discussions were taking place. And it was just like very just beautifully woven into the story. Those are the thoughts that I have about Crooked Kingdom. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and yeah, let me know what you're currently reading, and if you're trying to get your physical TBR down, let me just tell you, it is possible. I 100% believe and support y'all if that is a goal of yours. So I am going to head out, but I hope that you all are doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!